यथा गंगा पुराणनं इदं देवानां वैष्णवानां यथा शंभु वैष्णवानां यथा शंभु जितने भी वैष्णव है
From all the Vaishnavas,
श्रेष्ठ वैष्णव
the highest Vaishnava is Shiva ji.
क्योंकि शिव जी भगवान में इतने शरणागत है
Shivaji is so surrendered to Bhagavan.
देवता में नहीं दिखा
We don't see this in any other demigod.
ब्रह्मा और विष्णु के साथ यदि हम
If we compare Brahma
शिव जी भगवान
to Shiva, you will see that Shiva actually is so dear recipient of mercy of Lord that this is incomparable. We cannot even describe.
और शिव जी स्वयं भगवान में क्या है शरणागत
And Shivaji is so surrendered to Bhagavan, so surrendered.
भक्ति की विशेष जो नींव जो है
So how to measure the bhakti? Is this surrender the one has?
भगवान में इतने शरणागत है
Shiva is so surrendered to Bhagavan, so surrendered. He gives up all his happiness, own happiness, and he's only willing to serve to Bhagavan. You see, Shiva does not wear fancy clothes. Why he doesn't wear fancy clothes?
आदि छोड़ करके एकमात्र भगवान में ही तल्लीन जितने अच्छी पुष्प है
You see, all the nice flowers,
भगवान ही चढ़ाती
generally the nice flowers we offer only to Sri Hari. And the flowers that Sri Hari does not accept generally, then this flower Shivji accepts for himself. If Shivji would wear nice clothes and accept nice flowers, people maybe would not offer these things to Krishna, would offer only to Shiva. That's why, Understand? So Shivaji knows, he knows. So that's why Shiva, what does he do? First, he's always absorbed in bhav and prem. With his 5 mouths, Shivaji is always chanting the name of Ram. Tripurari, another name of Shiva. Tripurari, because he killed this demon. Tripur, no, and with his mouth, Shiva is always chanting holy names. So in this context of this katha, Shukadeva Goswami also told this to Parikshit Maharaj, the story of the death of Britasur. Basmasura katha. He's called Basmasura or Brikasur, one demon. So the demons worship to Shiva. Worshipping to Shiva, they ask for the benediction that, give me some benediction that if I put my hand on the head of anyone, then the person will become ashes. Shivaji did not think about himself, and he gave this benediction to this demon. Then this Basmasur, Brikasur, tried to kill Shiva himself and was running behind Shivaji to kill him. Shiva, the one who gave him the benediction. But Shiva, he took shelter of the feet of Vishnu. And then Swayam Bhagavan Vishnu, with the help of his Yogamaya, manifests a beautiful form of a brahmachari, holding a kamandalu on his hand, in his hand, with a blanket over his shoulder, and Vishnu came in the form of brahmachari to this demon and told, "Oh, you are so great. Where are you running to? What are you doing?" "Oh, I'm going to Shiva." Then Vishnu manifested this lila just to delude this demon. Then Vishnu in the form of a brahmachari told, "Oh, will you believe the benediction of somebody who is always smoking ganja, who is, staying in this grave and he has dreadlocks? Will you believe in his benediction? You think his benediction is true and you're running behind him? You think his benediction works? I am a brahmachari, has austerities and worship to Shiva for many years. And he also gave me the same benediction he also gave me. Which benediction he gave you? The demon asked to Vishnu as brahmachari. If I put my hand in anyone's person will become ashes. I also got this benediction before. The brahmachari told to demon, look, I put my hand on my head, nothing is happening. You see, it doesn't work. This is true. Yes. Still, he was thinking in his mind, if it's true, I will become ashes. The demon was still like doubtful. What if it's true? Then, but Bhagavan, with his words were so captivating, and Bhagavan, he could make his mind up. Try to put your hand on your head and then you feel some heat. And then Basmasura said, oh, this is true, brahmachari. Do you feel some heat? Because if you feel some heat, means it will become ashes. Put a little bit more down your head, like lower, and see if you feel some heat. Then this will mean if the blessing worked or not. Then the brahmachari said, how many times Shiva gave me this blessing that my hand will burn anything? But you see, it's not working. Try to put and you'll see. Then the demon was still afraid. Then this brahmachari told, there's no need to be afraid. Come on, just try it. This is true. This brahmachari is so beautiful, and the saints, they don't lie. Like Basmasura was afraid, he was not putting his hand completely on his head, but he was slowly believing in this brahmachari, because brahmachari was insisting. Then brahmachari was saying, why are you running behind this Shiva like he's like a... It's useless. So the demon put his hand on his head and he became ashes. Like this, he killed himself. So Swayam Bhagavan Vishnu, he told to Shiva, why do you give this benedictions to these kind of demons? At least try to save yourself, because the demon wanted to kill Shiva, Then Shiva told, Prabhu, I know that in distress, any calamity, you will always save me. That's why I never think about myself, my own safety, because I know you will always protect me. So, from all the Vaishnavas, the highest Vaishnava is Lord Shivaji. He's so surrendered to Bhagavan, so surrendered. What is the teaching in Bhakti? The teaching in Bhakti. So, the Sharanagati has 6 limbs of surrendered. What are they? So 6 limbs of surrender. So I want to say something, but you not allow me to speak. Oh yes, Swaroop lakshana and tatashta lakshana. So what is the Swaroop lakshana? The main symptom, main characteristic of the surrender is goptrite varanam tatha. You have this strong faith. Krishna will protect to me. This is the main thing about the surrender. This is the main. Rest is like secondary. All the other 5 limbs of surrender They are tatashta lakshana, means they are secondary symptoms, like accept only what is favorable, reject what is unfavorable. Krishna will protect to me. You have this. Goptite Varanam means Krishna is my maintainer, and he nourisher. Atmanikepa, you offer yourself. And Karpanya means humility. So these are the 6 limbs of surrender. So Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains that these 6 limbs, what are those? The main one, like the primary one, is Krishna is my maintainer, and he maintainer. Krishna is my maintainer. This is the main. In distress or happiness, Krishna will always maintain me. This is the main thing of the surrender. And the other qualities, other limbs, they are secondary qualities. So they nourish this main quality of this faith that Krishna is my maintainer. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur explains how Shankaracharya is not an ordinary jiva. Shankaracharya is directly Shivaji. The Vaishnavas, our acharyas, they describe the special glory of Shankaracharya and give so much honor to him as well. So this Shankaracharya, he appeared as Shankaracharya in Kali Yuga, and he preached the Mayavad philosophy. In this context also, we see how Devi Parvati, the wife of Shiva, of Shankar, is Devi Parvati. She asked to Shiva Shankar, she asked, "Oh, my husband, you know all tattvas, you are a Vaishnava. You know all. Although you know everything, why are you treating the jivas like this? You told that jiva is Brahma. That only one truth is Brahma. And you're saying that jiva is Brahma. You're saying that jiva does not exist. The jiva is only an imaginary thing, like a dream. Just like when we sleep. Suppose you have a dream that somebody cut off your head, chop off your head, and you're crying. Then you start crying. Why you're crying? Oh, somebody chopped off my head. Then you wake up, mommy, why are you crying, son? Oh, somebody chopped off my head. Oh, my son, if you don't have a head, how can you cry and speak? If somebody has really chopped off your head, how possible you're speaking? Oh, mommy, I have no head. I have no head. So this was your dream and you're thinking it's true when you wake up, like a kid. So a dream is imaginary. So they say that it's like a dream. Shankaracharya, he told that whatever we see in this world, it's all like a dream. It's not true. Everything is asatva, not true. And we are affected by Maya. That's why we're calling ourselves the jivas, souls. It's only illusion, Brahm. The jivas are deluded by Maya and they are giving their identification. I am jiva. You're not a jiva, you're Brahma. When you have this gyan, this knowledge, then you'll see that you're not a jiva, you'll see that you're Brahma. This is the opinion of Shankaracharya. So those who are Agyani, ignorance, they have Brahma, illusion. Suppose, when in the darkness, you might think that a rope is a snake. Shankaracharya told, just like when if you're walking in the darkness, then there's like a big rope on the floor. You'll think that the rope is a snake and you'll be afraid. But then when you light up the lights, like put light, then you see it was not a rope, it was a snake. So you think the rope is a snake, snake is a rope. This is a brahmvad, like an illusion. So the jiva is deluded by Maya, covered by this Maya, and the jiva is thinking he's jiva, but actually you're not a jiva, you are Brahma. You're not a soul, you're God. Jnanam Brahman. Knowledge is Brahma. Brahma is knowledge. God is knowledge. They say like this. So when you have the knowledge, all your ignorance will be destroyed. So Shankaracharya, his theory is known by many names, also known as Brahmvad, also Mayavad, another name of the Shankaracharya's philosophy. So it's known by all these names. Brahm, illusion. Brahm, Vivarta also. Vivartavad. So what are you? You are Brahma. Except Brahma, there is nothing else. Everything is Brahma. Whatever we see, actually everything is Brahma, he says. There's nothing else besides Brahma. The only truth is Brahma. Everything else is a lie. There's only one Brahma, nothing else. Brahma is only one. There's not a second thing. Whatever we see in this world, everything is a lie. A lie. Everything's a lie or not? No. But according to the opinion of Shankaracharya, everything is a lie. So Jiva Goswami told to Shankaracharya, okay, you're saying everything's a lie? So I see you, this is also a lie? Whatever you're speaking also, it's a lie. Jiva Goswami caught him in this philosophy. Oh, you're saying everything's a lie, so your words are also a lie. So you're saying that you're a Brahma means you're not Brahma. Jiva Goswami, he showed all this logic thinking to refute this philosophy. Okay, so Devi Parvati, she has to Shivji, oh my husband, Swami, my Lord, you know all the tattas. The jiva can never become Brahma. The Gita, Bhagavatam, the evidence is there everywhere. So why did you preach this Mayavada, Brahmavada? Why did you cheat the people like this? Why are you deluding the people in this way? Then in this moment, Shivaji told, hey Devi Parvati, it's not my fault. My Lord, my Master, Krishna Bhagavan, he instructed me and told me, hey Shankar, this is my order, follow my order. What? Go to the material world and delude the demons. How? Preaching the Mayavad, Brahmavad philosophy. Spread this philosophy, just like coronavirus. Spread this philosophy just like a coronavirus. If somebody gets this philosophy, like this Mayavada, he will be destroyed. There's no treatment, no cure, just like coronavirus. There's no vaccine. No vaccine will work against this Mayavad. You can try anything, you'll be destroyed, you'll be killed if you get this like virus of Mayavad. So Bhagavan, Shiva told to Parvati, what is my fault? I was only following the instruction of Lord. Krishna told, hey Shankar, go in Kali Yuga and the demons who are against me, these evil people, evil demons, delude them, and then they will be farther away from me, even further from me, like they will be kept far away from me. And Devi Parvati told, oh my husband, she asked, so what will happen if these demons are away from Lord? Then Shivaji told,
यदि भगवान ने ये कहा उसुर से दूर रखने से
if I stay away from the demons, first of all, they will not give trouble to me.
मैं कहता तुम भगवान हो, भगवान के प्रचार करें,
because they will think themselves they are God, so they will not come to me to harass me or trouble me.
उससे दूर रखो,
So they will be far away.
और दूसरी जो है,
And second point is
लोगों के भ्रमित करने से क्या होता है ना, वो
these people will be
जो है उत्तर बढ़ेगा,
deluded and the creation will increase, because these people, they'll never be able to be Brahma, impossible. So they will be offenders and they will again come to this material world and they will help in the creation. So two things will be accomplished. First, the demons will not come to me. They will think, oh, Rama is not Bhagavan. He's like a human being. You see, Ravana told like this. He's a beggar. Rama is a beggar. Your own father put you in your exile. Your own father kicked you out from his kingdom. Have you seen the Ramananda Saga Ramayana? How Ravana was acting, like how Rama is a beggar. He's a beggar, homeless. And you got a beautiful wife, and you're wandering with her in the forest and giving so much trouble to your wife. That's why I kidnapped your wife. Actually, I wanted to give you happiness to your wife. What is my fault? You got a beautiful wife, with such as so soft-hearted wife, and you didn't take care of her, didn't nourish her properly. You couldn't do that, and you were wandering in the forest and giving her so much trouble. So it's better that better for her to live with me. That's why I kidnapped her. That's why I wanted to give your wife a place in my palace. So I was protecting the women, wasn't I? Ravana said like this. You were a human being. Come on. You have no power, no strength. You are a beggar. You're like useless. So the demons, they think Bhagavan is a normal person. In the Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavan also told 4 kinds of people, they will not do bhajan of me, and 4 kinds of people will do bhajan of me. You know, this shloka in the Gita. 4 kinds of people, they will do bhajan, will worship me. Artha, Artharthi, Jignasu. So, etc. And 4 kinds of people, they have asur mood, demoniac mood, and will not worship me. Those who have no intelligence, just like Ravana, they will think, oh, Bhagavan is a normal human being. He was kicked out from his kingdom. Your own father kicked you out from the kingdom, and now you're in the forest. Okay, so Shivji himself told, look, it's not my fault. So Naradham, the fullest among the human beings. It's a shloka in the Gita saying the 4 kinds of people who will not worship Krishna. Those who have demonic moods, and who are else? Okay, these 2 we covered, 2 more are missing. What is that shloka? 4 kinds of people who will not do bhajan of Krishna. Krishna explains. Naradhama, the fullest amongst the human beings. And 2 more are there. Which ones? It's written. Okay, later we see. Okay. Sorry. So Shivaji himself is telling to Devi Parvati, it's not my fault. But Shankaracharya actually he did welfare to the jivas of this world. How? Because in the end, he told these slokas, Bhaja Govinda, oh foolish person, worship Govinda. Shankaracharya, he wrote this. You know, Shiva himself came in the form of Shankaracharya, and he, in the end, he did welfare
मुद्गर आदि श्लोक रचे।
to the jivas. He wrote the Mohan Mudgar, the hammer of the illusions. Mohan Mudgar. What is a Mudgar? It's a hammer.
पिटाई होता है ना,
You know the hammer?
मुद्गर कहा जाता है, पिटाई होता
But it's something like to beat. I don't know, maybe hammer is not the perfect translation. Some tool that also used like for beating.
माया में मोहित हुए
Because the jivas,
पिटाई करने लगे।
they are so much under the illusion of Maya. So he wrote this like poems, is the hammer of the illusions, to finish all the illusions of the jivas. All these shlokas, Gurudev is reciting these shlokas.
ये सब श्लोक किस लिए कहा?
So these shlokas,
ये सब सप्ताह की श्लोक है। महामुद्गर का।
this is the Mohana Mudgar.
माया में
Means if you are under the illusion,
मुद्गर, मुद्गर माने
Mudgar means,
माने ये लगे क्या बोले, डंडा लेकर के उसको
let's translate like a hammer. So it's like the hammer of illusions. So give up the illusion.
माया मोह में पड़े रहते हैं।
Because when the jiva are under the illusion of Maya, the jiva cannot do bhakti.
तब तो आएगा
You will only be able to do bhakti when you give up the illusion of Maya.
पिटाई जब होगा।
So how to give up the illusion of Maya? Just being like punished or being beaten. So oh foolish person with low intelligence, listen. He's saying worship Govinda. Shiva didn't say, like Shankaracharya didn't say worship me. He told worship Govinda. There are many shlokas in the Mohana Mudgar, these poems of Shankaracharya poems. Okay, so especially Shankaracharya, what did he show? If he wouldn't preach the Mayavad philosophy, the Vaishnavas will not speak such pure concepts against the Mayavad philosophy. So he was serving. So, for example, who really preached the glories of Draupadi in this world? Who? Duryodhana and Dushasana, you know? If Duryodhana and Dushasana didn't exist, they wouldn't exist. Who would be able to preach the glories of Draupadi in this world? Who would know her glories? If you read Mahabharata, you see in the Mahabharata that really you see that Duryodhana and Dushasana, they were evil, bad people. Indirectly, actually they were preaching the glories of Draupadi in this world. Sometimes the evil people, when they do their bad activities, they're glorifying the glories of other people. So in this way, if Shankaracharya wouldn't have preached the Mayavad philosophy in this world, then Ramanujacharya and all these acharyas like Madhacharya, Vishnu Swami and Ningbaditya, these four acharyas of the Vaishnava Sampradayas, you know, because all of them very loudly in one, like strongly, they cut the philosophy of Shankaracharya. And while cutting his philosophy, actually they established the Shuddha Bhakti in this world. That's why Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur here, he wrote in such a beautiful way. So on the basis of what Shankaracharya wrote, Ramanujacharya, he built the big palace of Shuddha Bhakti. So what is this? You know, so indirectly Shiva also established all these concepts of the Shastra for Shuddha Bhakti. And also in the end he also told only worship Govinda, Govinda, Govinda. Those who don't know the hidden mood of Shankaracharya and his inner heart and are just caught in this Mayavad, then they are far from bhakti.
इसलिए कहते हैं असाधारण शक्तिशाली शंकर अवतार शंकराचार्य की उदित होकर वेद शास्त्र में सम्मान की स्थापना की, शून्यवाद की ब्रह्मवाद की परिणत कर दिया। शंकराचार्य की पहले,
so before Shankaracharya, the Buddhists,
शून्यवाद को जगत में
they preach the Sunyavad, nihilism in this world. What is Sunyavad? Nihilism. They think everything came from zero and everything will come back to zero. They give an example. Everything came from zero. But this is not true. What the Buddhists say, actually, nothing comes from zero. Something comes from something always. Nothing can come from zero. You came from where? From the sky? No. Where did you come from? From the womb of his mother? And your mother came from the womb of her mother? And her mother came from the womb of her mother? So nothing comes from zero. Cannot say like this. Nobody falls from the sky, you know. But the Buddhists, they established the Sunyavad, nihilism. Shankaracharya, to defeat this nihilism, he told, you are Brahma. So at least he accepted something, you know. What? Who? Because, you know, the Buddhists, they accept only the zero. They think only the zero exists. But actually the zero only has some value if there's some number next to the zero, isn't it? So, there's a shloka. Tulsidas told in Ramcharitamanas, write the zero number, digit, has no value, isn't it? But if you write a number one next to the zero in the left side, right? So this number, so as instead of 1 or 0 becomes now 10 if you put the 1 in the left side. Then you put 1 more 0, will become 100, then 1000, then 10,000, etc. So every time increases 10 times. So at least they have accepted Brahma. Who? Shankaracharya. But the Buddhists haven't accepted anything. Not even the Vedas. The Buddhists wouldn't even accept the Vedas as sacred. The story of the Buddhists is very big, very long. Chalo, let's continue. Okay, so in the Dashavatara Stotra explains that the original Buddha was Lord Vishnu, who accepted dhyan, meditation, etc. But because of the degradation and people started thinking it was shunya, like zero. But this is because of effects of the like time and etc. So actually the original Buddha is Bhagavan Vishnu himself, who came to establish the ahimsa, the non-violence, as the topmost religious duty. Because at that time, many people, they used to do so much violence against living beings. So he established the ahimsa, this non-violence, and established the dhyan, the meditation. But people did not accept completely this meditation of that Vishnu established, and maybe did not realize everything he was giving. So they gave a wrong interpretation, and they started speaking about shunya. If the translation is not proper, then the meaning will be not proper. It will be not good. Like I told something, and the translator told something else, so it's not good. Like I told, offer tulsi leaf to Lord, and the translator that was in that class told, oh, if there's no, he was saying, okay, if there's no tulsi leaf, you can take any leaf and offer to Lord. So you know, in Russia there's no tulsi. So okay, you can bring some grass to Lord. So Gurudev was there. All the Russians, they came with a piece of grass and gave to Gurudeva. Gurudev said, am I a goat for you to give me grass? What is this? Oh, Bana Maharaj told in the class that you should give grass to Guru and Krishna. Gurudev asked me, then I told, no, I told that Patra is tulsi leaf. I told to Gurudev. But the Russian translator told, oh, because in Russia we don't have tulsi leaf. So the translator interpreted it. He gave his own interpretation. I told about tulle leaf, but translator he understood. Oh, in Russia we don't have tulle leaf, so I'll just translate as any leaf. So any leaf we can offer. Okay, so our grass is also leaf, so offer grass. So sometimes the devotee, like the speaker speaks something, but the translator speaks another thing. His own commentary, his own tika, own commentary. Understand? So those who are translators, those who will translate, they must do everything according to the bhava of the speaker. Then it will be proper. If you give your own interpretation, then the meaning will be wrong. Sometimes I see this going on. I speak something and then translator speaks something else and gives his own, sometimes his own like opinion or something. So these people didn't really know the heart of Shankaracharya and speaking their own moods in there. I told, what is the direction Shankaracharya told? Okay, so the Buddhists wouldn't accept Lord, Sunyavada, nihilism. So at least Shankaracharya told, no, nothing comes from zero, everybody comes from Brahma. So whatever Shankaracharya told, this is true, this part. Because in Veda Purana Upanishad says that everything comes from Brahma, everything comes from Brahma. Whatever there is in this world, everything comes from Brahma. Everything is alive because of Brahma. And in the end, everything merges in Brahma. Sorry, but what is the main meaning of Brahma? So what is the meaning? We have to understand the meaning of Brahma. One thing is Mukhartha, main meaning, another Gaunartha, secondary meaning. Those who are low intelligent, they take the second meaning or the secondary meaning. Both those who have very subtle mind, subtle brain, intelligence, they'll take the main meaning. So in Chaitanya Charitamrita explains. Actually, the main meaning of Brahma is Bhagavan. The main meaning of Brahma is, the principal meaning of Brahma is Swayam Bhagavan, God, full of 6 opulences. Not Nirakar Brahma, like God without any features or qualities, but Brahma, God full of qualities of Bhagavan, Supreme Personality of Godhead. But those with low intelligence will understand that Brahma is just a light, Jyotirmaya Brahma. But Bhagavan told that actually this light is only the effulgence of his own body. So the Mukhartha, the main meaning of Brahma is Bhagavan. Upanishads explain, Jatova Imani. In this world, everything that even material or inert or transcendental, everything comes from Brahma, from God, Lord, Supreme Personality of Godhead. But when you say Brahma, you should understand its meaning, it's Bhagavan. So whatever you see in this world, everything comes from Bhagavan, and everything is nourished by Bhagavan. Who is nourishing us, keeping us? Bhagavan. Understand? And in the end, when everything is destroyed, in a subtle way, everything comes back and merges in Bhagavan. So this is you should inquire about him. You should inquire about this Brahma. What is this Brahma? Atatta Brahma Jignasa. Therefore, inquire about Brahma. Inquire about Brahma. Many meanings of Brahma. What is the main meaning? Swayam Bhagavan. Everything comes from Bhagavan. So what Shankaracharya told, this is true. But people don't understand the meaning, and they take a wrong meaning and it becomes something bad. Oh, Brahma has no features, no qualities, nirvikar, nirvishesh, no form. So it's not the fault of Shankaracharya. He spoke correctly. Shankaracharya, you are not Brahma. Yeah, you are Brahma. What is the meaning of you are Brahma? You are like Brahma. You belong to Brahma. The explanation is so beautiful. So you belong to Brahma. So our acharyas take this part of the Shastra and they explain everything according to bhakti. Sarvam Kalidam Brahma. Everything is Brahma. Because Bhagavan is everywhere in the form of Paramatma. Paramatma is in everything. In every particle of everything that exists, only Paramatma is there. And Gita explains, I'm in the heart of everyone, living in the heart of everyone like Paramatma. There's nothing. There is nothing where Bhagavan is not. Like, God is everywhere. There is no where Bhagavan is not there. So Shankaracharya, he established this kind of like a base. Which base? He defeated the Sunyavada and the nihilism and established Brahma, like God. And then he told also, Shankaracharya told, everything comes from Brahma. So he says, we are covered by Brahma and we are identifying ourselves as jivas. But if Maya is removed, then you become Brahma. But we can change a little bit the way of saying these words. Understand? So the speaker is saying same thing, but the listeners may understand differently. Okay, so Shankaracharya established this kind of base. And on this base, Ramanujacharya and other acharyas, they built this big palace of the pure conception of pure bhakti. Means Shankaracharya, he is the great friend of all the Vaishnavas and a great acharya. Shankaracharya is a great acharya. So he showed this. The Vaishnavas also benefit from these directions that Shankaracharya left. If you don't have Sambandha Gyan, you cannot really understand. Sambandha Gyan is very important, very special. What happens if you have Sambandha Gyan? We will have the Seva Vritti, tendency to serve. And then this Seva Vritti also happens with Mamata, possessiveness. When the parents, they serve the kid, when the kid is born, the baby is born. And the parents, they serve because they have Mamata, my baby. The mother and father, they serve the kids, their children, because when they have this Sambandha Gyan, they also have this Mamata, this possessiveness. He's mine, like my baby, my kid, my children, my child. इस जड़ जगत में स्थूल और लिंग देह से चिद वस्तु का पृथक और अतिरिक्त है। इस सिद्धांत पर शंकराचार्य और वैष्णव दोनों ही विश्वास करते हैं। शंकराचार्य दोनों वैष्णव एक होता है क्या, लिंग शरीर और स्थूल शरीर के अलग दिखाया जाता है। So Shankaracharya shows the difference between gross body and subtle body. Shankaracharya, until you have the subtle body, you'll not be able to know your subtle body. So linga means subtle, sukshma. Our body, gross body, is made by 5 elements: earth, ether, air, fire, water. But the linga body, linga sharir, subtle body, is made by 3 elements. Some people say as 3, some people as 4 elements: mind, intelligence, ego, heart, chitta, man, buddhi, ahankar, chitta. Our gross body is changing. Every life we give up the gross body. The gross body we change every life. Every life we change our gross body. But our subtle body, we are not changing all the life. Until we have the realization of our soul, we'll continue with our subtle body. What is death? Is leaving the gross body behind. So to give up, when we give up the gross body, the soul goes to the subtle body. And then enters the next body, the next gross body. Then you give up that and again go to another. This is the journey of the soul. But this is going on. But when the jiva gives up the subtle and the gross and the subtle body, then the jiva is establishing the atmasari, the body of the soul. Your soul has a beautiful body. Actually, your soul has its own body called Chit Shari, the spiritual body. He's Chidanandamaya, made of knowledge, bliss, and eternity. It's so subtle. That's why now you cannot realize it. But doing bhajan slowly, your gross body will go away, and also your subtle body also will go away. After you give up your subtle body, then the Atma Sharir will come. Just like the snake is also shedding its skin and coming out of that. Although this example is not applicable all times, this example of the snake, but still it's somehow applicable in a partly form, like partly applicable. So doing bhajan slowly, your stool, your gross body will be given up. Then your subtle body later also will be given up. Then you will enter your transcendental divine body, and then you go to the abode of Lord. When somebody takes diksha, slowly, all his subtle body and gross body will be finished. And then his spiritual body will manifest. With his transcendental body, you can serve to Lord. You cannot serve to Lord with material things, material body, only spiritual body. If you don't have spiritual body, you cannot serve God who is spiritual. So the definition of bhakti, what is it? You must have a transcendental body to serve Bhagavan. If you don't have Dev Bhav, if you are not like a god, you cannot serve God. So in the same way, if you don't have the spiritual body, how can you serve a spiritual entity? So maybe you're asking, but I am serving now with my gross body. Actually, you're just arup, like you're imposing. Bhagavan is accepting somehow. And then later Sangha Siddha Bhakti. After Sangha Siddha Bhakti, then you have Swaroop Siddha Bhakti. With Swaroop Siddha Bhakti, then you get the transcendental body, then you can serve the Lord. So this definition of bhakti given in the Upanishads. This is bhakti. What are the upadhis, the designations of the jivas? You think you are the material body, the Atma Buddhi. The shloka explains. Okay, so continue this beautiful katha. Shankaracharya, he explains also the difference between the gross body and the spiritual body, and saying that we have an extra body, the body of the soul. He's different from the subtle and the gross body. So this Siddhanta, Shankaracharya also established it, and this is a similar thing between the Vaishnava Siddhanta and the Shankara Siddhanta, the philosophy of Shankaracharya. This is the same opinion in both philosophies. What is the satta of the jiva? Satta means the existence of the jiva. So according to the Vaishnava conception, what is the existence of the jiva? Satta of jiva. Satta existence comes from sat. You know, sat, chit, ananda. Sat, eternal existence. So Samvit and Ladini comes on the basis of Sandhini. Let's listen first the opinion of the Vaishnavas. Satta, this existence, the platform, it's called Adhar. So on the basis of this Sandhini, then Samvit and Hladini come. This is the conception of the Vaishnavas. So there's no so much difference. Which difference? So they believe in Brahma. So they do Bhaja Govinda, worship Govinda, worship Govinda. Who is worshipping Govinda? It's not contradictory, but those who have low intelligence cannot understand. So you have to use our mind, try to understand. If you don't use your mind, your intelligence, like if you have some insect in your brains and you cannot use proper think. Means if you don't think properly, if you cannot, like the followers of Shankaracharya, they have like some problem in the mind, then they're not understanding the perfect meaning. If there is like, you know, the termites in the woods, the termites, you know, the small ants who eat wood, they will eat all that wood and nothing will be left. So like this, so these followers of Shankaracharya is like they have like termites in their head. So that's why they cannot think properly and then they cannot understand properly the meaning. So mukti is giving up the material world. What is mukti? So first let's analyze like this. In this world, what is the cause of happiness and distress in this world? Our karma. I did some bad karma in my previous life. As a fruit of this, I'm suffering. According to the karma I did in my previous life, happiness and distress are coming. So who caused this happiness and distress? Myself, I did. We try to blame others, but first see that you did these activities. So, if you don't have karma, then you will not suffer. And actually, karma gives this happiness and happiness, because if you do good karma, then you have good like you'll enjoy, and if you do bad karma, you will suffer. So actually, you have to suffer or enjoy happiness and distress. So bhoga shanti, tyaga shanti. Looks like contradictory. If you bhog, like if you suffer, then you'll be peaceful. Suppose you have a disease. The person is suffering some disease, suffering. So he's suffering. So when you stop, stop your suffer, like then you'll be peaceful. So bhoga shanti. Like suppose you're suffering something. Then after you finish your quota, let's say like this, of suffering, then you'll be peaceful. So suffer and then you'll be peaceful later. And tyaga shanti also. If you just give up that thing, then also you'll be peaceful. So two kinds of thoughts. Example. You were holding 10 kilos of stone in your hand. A 10-kilo stone. And you're taking the right hand. After some time, you feel a pain in your right hand. Then you start taking it in your left hand. Then on your shoulder, left shoulder, right shoulder, on your head, you start to hold to take that. What is the cause of the pain and distress? Is the stone which you're carrying. That is the cause of your unhappiness. Throw away the stone. Throw it. Then your unhappiness will finish. Your distress. So you're carrying this weight. This is the cause of the unhappiness. Like those who sell milk. First they used to take like a bamboo on their shoulder with two pots of milk in like a balancing in one wood like this, and they used to carry on their shoulder. So one part was full of yogurt or milk in one pot, like in front, suppose, and then behind like milk. But suppose they sold all the milk, they have to put an equal amount of weights just to balance the wood, that like a piece of wood which they are carrying. Water or stone they have to put, otherwise if not balanced he cannot walk with that. Like to walk in this world, you need two persons. If a wife, like if you, like in a family, sorry, samsara also means world, sometimes means family, but they're talking about family. That's why people marry, because like to live in this world in a family you need two people, husband and wife, two people. This is true or not? So you have to balance. Then you have kids, but if it's not the husband or wife together, then it's unbalanced. Throw away both of them. The yogurt and the water and the stones, like the example of the milkman. If there's no bamboo, there will be no flute. What is the meaning? Give up the family. Give up the husband and wife. Finish or not? This is true. But you cannot give up. Okay, stay in your family. So need the third person. Because if you give up, what will you do? Okay, so stay in unattached, detached. Because you cannot give up your family. Otherwise you give up your wife, then you get another wife. What will you do after you give up one wife? You cannot give up. Okay, so okay. So stay at least with only one wife. Don't quarrel with her. Stay with her. Don't beat each other. Okay, balance and tolerate, and whether you're a wife or husband. Understand? Tolerate. What to do? Do Bhagavat Bhajan, husband, wife. When the time will come, then it will be dissolved. Like all this family life and that material attachments will be dissolved. It will finish in the proper time. Doing bhajan slowly, slowly. When the time will come, listen. Doing bhajan slowly, slowly. When the time will come, automatically all these material attachments you'll be given up. If you try yourself to give up, you'll not be able. So do Bhagavad Bhajan and what is the definition of mukti?
विष्णु अमरी लाभंग मुक्ति भगवान श्री के चरण कमल की प्राप्ति करना ही
to attain the lotus feet of Bhagavan Vishnu. This is mukti. Definition of mukti. Vishnu angri. Angri means feet.
भगवान विष्णु के चरण को प्राप्ति करना.
To attain the feet of Vishnu, this is mukti. Because the nature of the soul is to be the servant of Lord. You're not a Shiva Das, the servant of Shiva. You're not Surya Das. You're not the Maya Das. You're the servant of Vishnu. When you say Vishnu, it means Krishna. So you're the servant of Vishnu.
विष्णु अंग्री लाभम ही मुक्ति. इससे और थोड़ा वैष्णव लोग और भी एनालाइज करते हैं.
The Vaishnavas even analyze a little bit more.
मुक्ति के समस्त प्रकार की.
What is mukti?
माने इसको छोड़ दो.
Giving up all the
ज्ञान तपस्या यज्ञ आदि जितने भी है सब छोड़ दो.
Jnana, tapasya, everything just give up. And only
भगवान श्री हरि के भजन करते
doing Bhajan of Bhagavan Sri Hari, then you realize your soul, and according to the mode of your soul, then you serve Radha Govinda. This is mukti.
इसलिए कहते हैं जड़ जगत में संबंध त्याग नाम मुक्ति, इस बातों पे दोनों मानते हैं. मुक्ति लाभ होने तक शंकराचार्य और वैष्णव आचार्य के बीच अनेक प्रकार का मतैक्य है. दिखाता है मुक्ति के बारे में सभी वैष्णव लोग और बात शंकर
all the Vaishnavas they explain about mukti and they give their own conceptions about mukti. Shankaracharya says when mukti is when everything is given up and you merge in Brahma. When you become Brahma, this is mukti. This is the philosophy of Shankara. To give up the subtle and gross body, then you become Brahma. But in the opinion of the Vaishnavas, now this is not mukti. Definition of mukti is attain the feet of Vishnu. Or even a highest definition is by worshiping Shri Hari, the heart will be pure. Shankaracharya also told this same. So they don't think God has a form, they think God is formless. But actually you cannot meditate in something which has no form. So they accept a temporary deity and meditate on that. So they give some example, just like if you need to go to the roof, you need some ladder. But after you reach the roof, you don't need the ladder any longer. And then you can? So the ladder is temporary. So three things are eternal: Bhakta, Bhakti and Bhagavan. Bhakta means the sadhaka, Bhakti the way, the process, abhidheya, and prayojan the goal.
एवं मुक्ति लाभ होती है, यह शंकर की भी शिक्षा है। चित्त शुद्धि आदि के लिए शंकराचार्य ने ये भी कहा था।
Shankara also told about the necessity of the purification of the heart. And for that, he told that it's needed to worship the Lord. Worship Lord.
केवल इस विषय में शंकराचार्य जो चुपचाप है कि मुक्ति लाभ के बाद अपूर्व क्या अपूर्व गति होती है।
But what will happen after the jiva attains mukti? After mukti, what is there?
इससे शंकराचार्य यहाँ पर मौन धारण,
Shankaracharya, he became silent.
सारे पोल खोल जाएगा, इसलिए यहाँ पर बताया यहाँ तक सुनो, आगे की कथा नहीं।
So he told only until here. Because Shankar knew
अच्छी तरह चला सकने से जीव क्रमशः भजन सुख में आबद्ध होकर शुद्ध भक्त हो जाएगा।
He didn't speak anything about that because he knew that the actual after that the jiva becomes a devotee of Lord after mukti. So he didn't open all the secrets of the Vaishnava philosophy, otherwise we wouldn't be able to preach about Mayavad. So actually what Shankaracharya wanted to say, those who understand very nicely, you know, they understand nicely, but some they just give interpretation, some bad, wrong interpretation. Just like I was telling that we have to offer tulsi leaf to Bhagavan, and they were offering grass to Guru and Krishna. I told tulsi leaf, and they give bad, wrong interpretation. Oh, we cannot get tulsi leaf, so let's offer grass. So the Vaishnavas will say, why are you offering grass? Sannyasi Thakur, he was a Mayavadi. He left the Mayavadi, then he came. Mayavada, then he came. This Sannyasi Thakur became Vaishnavadas.
$9
9:30 already. 9:40. Okay. Those who take his teachings only externally, they don't understand everything completely. They are far from the Vaishnava dharma. So they take only half of what Shankaracharya told and not complete. So this is called Ardha Kukut have Nabichar. They have chicken logic. Shankaracharya is a Vaishnava, but they take only the half. Half of his teaching is not complete. So one king told, this is the place that I do the puja, but some foolish people, they are peeing here, peeing. Okay, so write something here. The king gave some order. Write here, don't urinate here. It's forbidden to urinate here. So they wrote. They were writing. That time there was no light any longer. So he wrote only that part, and so tomorrow I write completely. So actually he wrote urinate here instead of do not urinate here. So when he came back, he saw that everything was full of urine. King told, I told that was not supposed to urinate. You should write it. But you told me to write only when there was daytime and it was like dark. I couldn't write everything, so that's why I put the sign like this. So if you do only half of the work that was given to you, it's not problem. It's not proper. Better to do all night the proper work, then the thing will be proper. Otherwise, just do half of it. So those who are doing work, or they have to do, when you do something, you have to do properly. Even if it's like whole night, you must finish properly. Otherwise, I did only half an hour and didn't finish properly. So maybe you'll be over duty, whole night awake, but you have to do it properly. So the king told, I'll not give you over duty. So this man who was doing this job, he didn't do work overnight. He just did half work and stopped. And so the next day, write quickly. Don't urinate here. It's forbidden to urinate here. Like, urinate here, it's forbidden. So they are taking only half of what Shankaracharya told. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur is giving so much honor to Shankaracharya. Didn't see any fault in him. Shankaracharya is directly Shankara. So doing pranam to his lotus feet. Bhaktivinoda Thakur gives so much honor to him. So those who are very intelligent, they can understand the real meaning and profound, deep meaning of what Shankaracharya is saying and his opinions. Sanjay is telling everything because he got the mercy of Vyasadeva, but you didn't see this part. You came after 11 days, like you see the Gita only in half of the Gita. You don't understand completely what is going on. This is called Ardha Kukutane Vichar, half chicken logic. Kukuta means chicken. Kukur means dog in Bengali. Kukuti, chicken. So Shankaracharya told in the end, oh foolish, give up everything and just worship. It's all Leelas. Mahaprabhu told to his mother before taking sannyas. There's the stories there. When Mahaprabhu was about to take sannyas, his mother was sleeping. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he came in the form, he spoke in the form of a cuckoo bird. And then Mother Shachi, like sleeping, she told, oh, you're the cuckoo of Braj, go to Braj. When she heard him singing like a cuckoo bird.
Tomorrow morning, no Harikatha. Tomorrow afternoon, Harikatha. Everybody come online on
So come back to the beginning of the video. I think first minutes we lost translation.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. सर्वप्रथम मेरे गुरुपाद पद्म,
First of all, obeisances to my Guru Pada Padma. Delle previste Srila Bhakti Vedanta Srila Vamana Goswami Maharaj. Delle previste Vishnu Pada Srila Bhakti Vedanta Srila Narayana Goswami Maharaj. So their lotus feet which remove all the fear. And for my humble obeisances again and again. And also Srila Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj, and so all the Vaishnavas and Vaishnavis. Please accept my Dandavat Pranams. Yesterday we yesterday was the appearance of Jagat Guru Shankaracharya. Although Shankaracharya has preached the Advaitavadi, monism, Mayavad philosophy, still, if in the society of the Vaishnavas, he's so much honored. And Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur, in the Jiva Dharma book, he describes about Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya established some base, and on the basis that Shankaracharya put, Ramanujacharya and other acharyas, they've built this palace of pure Vaishnava Dharma, or the Shankaracharya. He is a acharya who is Parag Udit Acharya, an acharya who is also friend of the Vaishnavas. So Bhakti Vinod Thakur, being so humble, Bhakti Vinod Thakur is giving so much honor to Shankaracharya. Shankaracharya is not ordinary human being. Shankaracharya is Shiva himself. So the society of the Vaishnavas, they give special honor to Shankaracharya. Even the Srimad Bhagavata explains the glory of Shiva and Shankara. Bhagavatam also explains about Shankaracharya that he's the best amongst all the Vaishnavas because he's Shiva himself, the best amongst the Vaishnavas. Here we are already translating, so I'll just stop here. Jai Srila Gurudev Ki Jai.